Hi, welcome back. On this episode, we're going to replace our low beam bulb on a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check me out on Instagram and on Facebook at Claro Garage. You can also become a member to the Claro Garage YouTube page and get access to videos a little bit. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so we have our driver's side headlight is not working. So looking at the headlight, right here would be our high beam. And then this one here is our low beam. And this is the one that is not working. So I have already pulled the bulb out. I pulled it out yesterday so I get the part number off. And while I was at work today, my wife went and grabbed a new bulb so we'd be able to replace this. So I'm going to show you how to get to where the bulb is. And then we'll carry on from there. Alright, so here's our headlight. The spot we need to get to is right back here. But this is kind of in our way a little bit. So it's a 8mm socket. And I just pulled that off so I could fit my hand in a little easier. So there's our 8mm, and this will pull right out. And then I just flop that over. And then you can see right in here, there's a big cover. So you just turn it counterclockwise. And then that cover comes off. So we just reach in and then we twist. And then here's our headlight socket with the bulb. These grooves on it, they slip into a pocket, and then you twist back the other way and put it back in. So there's our old bulb. So the bulb that we pulled out, I'm not sure if you're able to see the numbers on it. The numbers are 6021, it's a Phillips. There's a H7, it's 12 volt, 55 watt, Dodd 12972, HPLL. This is made in Germany. That headlight was replaced a couple years ago. Somebody backed into my wife and they broke the headlight, so I had to get replaced. And I didn't do it, it was through insurance. And I'm not sure if they used OEM parts or if they used aftermarket parts. It wasn't very clear. So this may or may not be the same bulb from the factory, I'm not sure. It's also a single element bulb, so that's one thing to note. And this groove fits on that groove on the connector, and without doing any test or anything on the bulb, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on the camera or not, but you can see that the bulb is burnt up. You can see there's a little tiny hole in the coil, there's a little gap, and I'm not sure if you can really see it or not, but the bulb is also discolored, which is another sign that it's blowing. But one other thing we can do is we can put two gator clips on here, and we can go across our 12 volt battery in our vehicle, and we can test it that way as well. So this one being, we can physically tell. You wouldn't normally do this, I guess. But if you pull the bulb out and you can't tell if the bulb was bad or not, this is one way to test it. And then if the bulb tests good, then you know there's a good chance that you're going to be chasing a bad connection on the socket or going further into your wiring with other issues. In this case, I'm just going across it like that. Make sure the gator clips aren't grounded out or touching anything. And then we'll go over to our battery, and we can put it on the negative and positive terminal and just verify that it does not work, or if it does work, then we jump in further. So I'm just going to push up on the positive terminal, so that exposes that. I'm going to clip onto the negative terminal first, the ground. And then I'm just going to take the side going to the positive, and I'm just going to touch on the positive terminal, and then I can pull it off real quick if I ever needed to. So as we can see, nothing. So this is a bad bulb. Unclip that. If you do that with a good bulb, the bulb will get very hot, so keep that in mind. And with these halogen bulbs, and just any bulbs in general, you don't want to touch the glass. If you touch the glass lots, it will make the bulb want to fail quicker. Some of the oils in your skin, it affects it. So you always want to touch it on the metal casing, never touch the actual glass part of the bulb. Alright, we're going to grab our new bulb. That's what my wife picked up from Canadian Tire. It was around $20. So that's kind of what I was expecting. So we're going to do the same thing, and then we'll verify that this works. So we're going to hook up on our negative first. And the reason we hook up on our negative first, I can touch this lead to any ground metal point on the car, and there's no risk of a shock or anything like that, or any sparks flying or shorting something out. But if you hook up to the positive lead, and then if your other lead dangled and hit anything, it would throw sparks and complete the circuit. But now I'm going to touch this on, and this bulb will light up. So as we can see, it's a good bulb. So remember, if you hold that for very long, it will get quite hot. But we verified this is a good bulb. So if this was the bulb we pulled out and it worked, we would start checking our socket and verifying power going to it. But in most cases, you're just going to be replacing the bulb. So we're not going to dig into that today. So now we're going to slip this back in the socket, and we're going to make sure that this tab goes with the groove on the socket. And when I say the groove on the socket, it's hard to see, but on this bottom part there's a little tiny notch. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. That might help a little bit, maybe not. But that's where that tab goes, is right in there. So we just slip it in, never touching the glass. Right, that's all the way in. And now we're going to slip it into the holder. Alright, now that's in all the way. So now we can put our cap back on, and it just slips in, and then we turn it clockwise. If you have big hands, that would be a really hard spot to get to. My hands are mediocre size, and it's pretty tight. We'll close up our positive lead, and then we'll slip this bracket back on. That's good, don't have to over tighten it or anything. Make sure you have everything up underneath the hood. And now our next step is to test it. But you have to start the car to test it. I tried earlier, checking the other side, but we'll do it again. When you turn just your headlights on with the car off, your low beam lights don't come on, just your running lights, but your headlights don't actually come on. But we'll do that, and then we'll fire it up. Alright, this is with the car off, turning just the headlights on. And as we can see, that lower luminant, it lights up, but our headlight does not. Alright, so I'm going to start this. So I turn it to auto, and they come on in auto. So as we can see, our light's working now. And it's working on the other side. Alright, and then last thing you want to do if you close the hood is just make sure you don't have any tools or anything underneath. And then you're good to close it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button, and to check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Clara Garage. Have a great night.